Privileges of marriage. So the reason why this is also coming up is I was talking to a young lady during this conference, and she was just like, "Marriage, I'm just not really feeling it." And I was like, "Oh, okay. Why? Tell me more about that." And she started talking about, and no, I can sympathize or empathize with a lot of this as well, but saying that she didn't have positive examples of marriage growing up,
Mhm.
right? And seeing what that marriage looked like in her life, she's like, I don't want that. I know that's marriage. I see the arguments. I see how maybe the relationship is one sided. I see how maybe there's abuse in the relationship, and that's what I'm growing up within the box of marriage.
Mhm.
I don't want that experience, so I'm not going to get married.
Mhm.
Right. And we looked at the stats for African Americans in America. Unfortunately, it's like only 50%
Yeah.
are even getting married. I think it was no 50% are single, less than like 30 to 40% were actually married, and then I think like 5% were widowed. Um, but the fact that 50% aren't married,
Mhm.
I think is an issue. And we
Mhm.
should try to fix that because a family unit is a strong unit, right?
Mhm.
So
So what do you say to the folks who say that you don't need marriage to have a family unit?
I think that is semi correct.
Mhm.
I don't think you necessarily need to be legally married to have a family unit.
Mhm.
I do believe that you need to be committed to a person, though. So whether it's a domestic relationship, whether it's this is my person, we haven't chosen, what's the word?
Chosen.
Chosen to be married, but this is my person. We live together. We have our family together. That's cool. But there's people out there that are literally like, I want to be single
Mhm.
because I want to be able to only give to myself. I want to only have to worry about myself. I want to be able to do whatever I want whenever I want. I'm going to be single. And I hear that, but you want 80 years of that?
Mhm.
You want 80 years of nothing but yourself and friends? And with the question I asked, I was like, so let me get this straight. You don't want somebody who will always have your back no matter what. You don't want somebody that you can call the drop of a dime and they got you
Mhm.
without question. She was like, well, yeah, I guess I do want that. I was like, that's kind of what marriage is.
Mhm.
Case in point, random scenario. Let's say you're driving on the freeway.
Random. Yeah.
Is it sounding familiar to you, Queen? A little bit?
Continue.
Let's tell a story. Let's see where this cookie crumbles. Let's say you're driving down the freeway, and let's say just pulling something random. You're going to a friend's birthday party celebration, right? You're
Mhm.
driving from the IE to the Valley, all right? And let's say you're driving and your car wheel pops on the freeway. You pull over. You call AAA. AAA doesn't come for 2 hours, but you still want to make it to this party. Who do you call? Right? Random, you're listening, you're watching on this podcast, you're in that situation. Who do you call to help you after AAA, who you paid money to, doesn't show up after 2 hours?
AAA, I have a couple words for you.
Oh yeah, AAA is not a sponsor of this podcast. They left my queen on the side of the freeway for 2 hours. I am not happy about the situation.
But the answer is I called you.
You called who?
I called you.
And what am I?
You are my husband.
I am your husband.
I had no other options.
Well, you had another option. You could have sat in
No,
that
I meant
car.
in terms of people to call. Like
Oh,
it was
gotcha.
you or oh, I'm sitting here and waiting.
Right.
um so yes, that was I it was a blessing. And he was just
Hmm.
like, okay, and got in the car.
Because here's the thing, as a husband, and I'm sure as a father as well, you don't want your wife, you don't want your daughter on the freeway at night by herself in a car.
Mhm.
That's just not a situation that you want a woman that you love to be in, right? So I feel like as a married couple or as a wife, you had the privilege, you had the benefit of being able to be like, all right, I'm gonna call my husband.
Yep.
I came in my car, gave her my keys. She went to the party, had a good old time. I saw the videos. You was turned. It was fun. Meanwhile, I'm on the side of the freeway for an additional 2 hours, chilling in the car, waiting for AAA.
I
Right?
appreciate you.
Of course, Queen. It was my honor. It was my
Privilege.
privilege to support you as my queen, right? But that's something, again, as I think a single person out there, could you call your best friend? You could. Is your best friend gonna show up like that? I don't
Depends on the
know.
relationship. They may stick with you, like, just to make sure you're safe. Are they
Mm.
gonna give you their car unless I don't know.
That's a lot to ask of a
It
best
is.
friend,
It
right?
is.
Vern, love you. I don't know if he would do that for me. I don't know if I would do that for you. I love you, player. I don't know if I would do that, right? So that's just one of the examples that I kind of gave to this young lady as far as it's like being married gives you certain privileges that you don't necessarily think about, but are there. Um, I'm gonna let you hop in because I know I've been hogging the airways a little bit. Anything else that's percolating in your beautiful melanated mind over there about the privileges of marriage?
Um, I think it just comes down to, like you said, the having someone there to hold you down in those times where it's like, dang, who am I about to call? Dang,
Mm,
I'm in a bind.
mm,
Like, I feel like having, and I'm just speaking for myself, right? For our relationship,
mm.
I feel like I always have someone there to if I have a, we all have those thoughts where you're like, I don't know I should ever say this thought out loud.
Oh yeah.
Right? And we know like we
Yeah,
like preface the thought of
we have
like
several. Jair, you've been able to hear some of these thoughts on our on our Tulsa trip last week. You got some of those thoughts, but there's more,
there's so much
so
more.
much more.
Where we say like, okay, you can't judge me if I say this, or
Hmm.
like, is this fill in the blank?
Right?
Right?
Is this wrong?
Is this wrong?
This make me a bad person.
But yeah, having that person that you can just like no judgment say any, I mean not say anything, but
Mm,
like speak your mind without feeling judged.
yeah.
Or even if you do judge, it's like, well, you're here. You're not
Right.
gonna go anywhere,
Exactly.
right? Um
Yeah.
right.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think just having like truly that like best friend on a different type of level,
Right.
to where I can speak freely. That is something that I definitely is a privilege
Mhm.
that I sometimes don't realize until I hear like other friends talk, or just being put in other situations where I'm
Mhm.
seeing like people interact and I'm like, wow, I'm blessed.
Mm.
I'm blessed to have someone like that where I can say anything, I can call and ask absurd questions and make absurd requests. And I know that, for the most part, you're going to like say yes and help me out.
Unless they're completely crazy,
Unless they're
Sinclair.
completely crazy, then I also know like, well, I tried.
Yeah. I shot my shot.
Shot my
I
shot.
shot my shot.
It didn't work out.
Thank you for supporting the M4 show and our mission to increase the wealth of Black families.
If you received any value from this episode, any value at all,
Any.
any, do us a favor and give us a like and subscribe on YouTube and Apple, Spotify,
All them.
anything, all of them,
All them.
all of them. Wherever you're listening, go ahead and like and subscribe.
And after you like and subscribe, make sure you send this episode to at least one family that you really want to see win. We'll catch y'all next time.